it would appear that the Wild Asia TV team themselves has now become part of the fabric of the jungle. Our duty and responsibility is to report and present to you accurately and exactly what happens in the jungle. And in bringing these stories, we have been able to live alongside our jungle friends and observe them at close hand, quietly and silently, and therefore are able to bring these images before you. And today, let's see and observe and enjoy what things are happening in the animal society hereabouts. Stay with us. In this land, there are all sorts of people who lay claim to ownership. Ownership usually comes with the power of authority. But note that not in every place might the same authority prevail. Take a good look at this one.
It is the jungle law that prevails in the forest. The jungle folk do not come under our law. Therefore, those in the jungle are not frightened by the police. That is why the prestigious elephants do not leave their path even when police vehicles come their way. These elephant higher-ups did not perhaps think that the police were on official duty. That is why they didn't make any room for them. However, when these jumbos want to have a little fun, they don't think in terms of the status of those who become their victims. This is a simple matter for them.
Without a valid visa entry permit, it is not possible for a person from one country to travel to another. Here in the jungle, amongst our jungle friends, no such visa laws apply. As a result, here we are able to see and observe friends from all different parts of the globe that come over. And this is one of those visitors.
The blue-tailed Beeeater is a migratory bird. It has a blue tail. It is adept at capturing insects even in flight. This bird likes to lurk calmly in one place for a long time until it gets its prey. Most of their prey consist of insects of the bee species. It is a bit difficult to digest that kind of prey. As a result, they regurgitate their food at the place where they rest for the night. Their official name is Blutailed Beeeater. The scientific name for them is Merops philippinus. Though this bird's original home is in the Himalayan region, we met him in Sri Lanka, in South Asia.
Bosom friends. Well, that's what we see there. Good friends. Even amongst the elephants, there are such friends. And you would observe that among humans, we might tend to get engaged in a conversation and put our arm across our friend's shoulder. Just so here. But not the arm, of course. It's the trunk that he used in just that same manner as they engage in some intimate conversation. Watch.
In the elephant community, there is no such division as high and low, since all are elephants. They are a gregarious community. They are as social as humans. The jungle depths are their playground. It is only the Wild Asia TV team that is privileged to witness such rare sights. The trunk is the elephant's nose. In addition to breathing, the trunk is useful for other functions as well. This versatile trunk is made up of about 5,000 muscles and generally weighs around 125 to 200 pounds.
All of the fun and games is only as long as we have strength in our arms and legs. And so it is in the human world and too in the animal kingdom. If they are unable to hunt and find food for themselves, then of course they are in difficulty. So if they are unable to find food and refreshment at the time for it, well, they may even have to go hungry.
We came upon this stalk about 5:30 in the evening. This is not generally a hunting hour for our jungle friends. But this aged stalk was seeking prey in a small pool of mud. As he cannot hunt big game due to old age, he was trying to get at least small fry. Known as Latuvekia, he is described as the painted stalk. He lives on fish, worms and insects found in muddy water. His beak is very sensitive. But today he has not succeeded in getting any prey. It has a beak that is about half a meter long. It first puts its beak into the muddy water and it slowly walks by, stamping the mud. After that, if it finds some prey, it simply eats it all at once.
There are occasions when people benefit from the misfortunes of others. In the case of this bird, known locally in Sri Lanka as the dumbonna, on account of its affinity towards smoke, for it to be able to be benefited, there is needed for a fire, a tragedy of that nature to take place in the jungle. Just as it is in human society, where people prey on the misfortunes of others, so it is sometimes in the jungle.
This bird is characterized as the smoker because it flies in and out of smoke clouds rising from forest fires and the smoke from the jungles that are set on fire for chaina cultivation. It is the habit of this bird to capture insects rising into the air with smoke clouds. This way, it preys on about 1 kilo or 2 of insects in a day. This bird, whose habitat is the dry zone, is known as the Indian roller. Its scientific name is Coracias bengalensis. Another characteristic habit of this bird is its inclination to lurk in one place, watching insects around it to capture its prey. This bird marks its territory and expels intruders.
we of the Wild Asia TV team consider it our responsibility to capture images of things as they take place in the jungles and are rarely seen in the outside world, and then bringing them to you. Now, while this obviously is a grave and serious responsibility, it also demands a great deal of patience. And so we attempt to spend time and capture these images just the way they happen and bring them to you. And two, when we spot something which is somewhat more unusual than what else is going on, then some special attention is paid in that direction to capture the unusual. And it would appear that even amongst the animals there is this interest in the unusual. And maybe it is just such a reason that allows this friend of ours to view himself as special and behave in that sort of haughty, proud manner. See?
The dappled elephants waded into River Wallaby. That is how our folk poets describe the wild dappled elephants. This dappled elephant is a member of that elephant dynasty. In the forest, they are known as spotted elephants. The scientific explanation of the dapples is that they are caused by the coloring agent melanin. It can be said that the freckled elephant is the most handsome animal in a herd. Because of this, the freckled elephant is a little proud. But for the Wild Asia TV team, every animal in the jungle is a proud animal. We are proud of our jungle friends. According to folklore, only aristocratic elephants become freckled. But whatever that may be, this freckled elephant is a wee bit proud.
In the jungle, you will be able to observe all sorts of birds. Big birds, small birds, fat birds, lean birds, tall birds. The purple hummingbird is an exceptionally small bird, tiny. But even though small, it is very, very active. And how active it is, you would be able to recognize, because for it to swallow, say, something like another insect, it takes only 3/20ths of 1 second.
This bird, Damsutikka, is building a new nest in order to lay eggs. Nitamba Damsutikka is the most spectacular among those of the Sutikka family. The male of the species is of a whole range of colors. Sutikka, which thrives on the pollen of flowers, preys on insects as well. The nest hangs like a bubble. It is scrupulously clean. It has been woven with cobwebs. The female builds the nest with bits and pieces of forest material. While this is being done, the male stays alert to raise the alarm if something untoward were to happen. Sutikka took only 3/20ths of a second to eat up the little insect that came into its nest. This shows how active it is. While feeding, it looks into housekeeping details of the nest. The male Sutikka never forgets to bring food for Mrs. Sutikka. This bird is known as the purple-rumped sunbird.
There prevails even in the jungle a law. And even if we were to pursue a particular news story, we cannot say that we would be able to arrive at the time indicated. We just have to abide by the law of the jungle. See?
There, an elephant has obstructed our path. How can we proceed? Wild Asia TV team video scenes are not only inside the jungles, but in animal sanctuaries as well. There is a specific time to enter and leave wildlife sanctuaries. Wild Asia TV team observes these regulations to the letter. But our wild friends don't know this. At times we wonder whether our friends in the jungle want to keep us in the jungle at night as well. But for that, the approval of our jungle friends is not sufficient. Even if they permit, we have to leave before 6.
Even in the jungle, cleanliness is appreciated by some. But unlike in the case of humans, in the case of us, the individual cleanliness of others is a matter of their concern toward each other. Now, for you to appreciate how this is done, take a good look at this one.
Rela, the white monkey known as Macaca sinica, is a variety of mammals endemic to Sri Lanka. Known as the talk monkey, the Rela is a brown-coated monkey of the primate species that is found extensively in the dry zone. The picking of lice from the bodies of young ones and also of their partners is a duty of the Rela family. Because of their strong thumb and the strong big toe, they can grasp branches even with their feet.
In order to survive in the jungle, a great deal of alertness and mental acuity is important. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to maintain family life. And in bringing up the young ones, there are grave dangers that they face all the time. In the case of this mother bird, we can see there is great alertness and wisdom, much greater than the little head that carries that brain, as you will observe.
The Kerala mother is protecting the area where she has laid her eggs. At this time, a pair of peacocks descended upon that area in search of food. The wise Kerala mother resorted to good strategy. When the peacocks were approaching the area where the eggs were, the Kerala mother kept absolutely silent. But when the peacocks went away from that spot, it began screaming. The peacocks thought that the eggs were somewhere there, and they went that way. The Kerala mother builds an open nest with pebbles and other tidbits and engages herself in the task of bringing up a family from April to August. Meanwhile, amidst the screaming of the Kerala mother, the peacocks are still looking for the eggs. But they cannot find them. The eggs are not there. The little Kerala mother that deceived the big peacocks went in search of food. What do you think about the witch of the Kerala mother?
Everywhere we go, people are erecting fences, fencing off. And because of fences, people even fight or engage in war. But in the animal kingdom, no fences, please. And even when there are attempts to fix fences in the jungle, our animal friends are not in agreement with that. As you will observe, no fences, please.
While roaming the jungles, the Wild Asia TV team witnessed one of our elephant friends attacking a tree. We tried to find out what all this was about. The elephant's effort is to dislodge a board on a tree, indicating forest boundaries. He couldn't dislodge the board, however much he tried. Next, he tried to uproot the whole tree to remove the boundary. At this time, the elephant saw the Wild Asia TV team, but he went away as if he didn't notice us. But come what may, the border mark will not last long.
In our role as the official media representatives of the Jungle Climbs, the Wild Asia TV team are privileged to bring to you, our viewer, all of the wonderful things that take place in these jungle places, put it all in a visual report and bring you close to the jungle. And it is our responsibility that we take seriously enough to promise you that we will return again and again with more and more such reports as would make you aware of the special beauty that is in the jungle and of what happens in the wild. And until then, we say goodbye for now.